Welcome to another episode of the Neg Entropy Chronicles. I'm back with another video, so remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And click that notification bell to be alerted anytime I drop a new video. And I have a special guest in the building. Dena is here. We're going to be talking about, was Kevin Samuels right in regards to the video he did with Fresh Fit on YouTube. I'm going to leave a link in the description. And he's talking to 3 women that have OnlyFans. Now, it wasn't just him, it was Fresh Fit as well. But what they were addressing is the longevity in the industry and what it meant for them and what they need to pay attention to. So, Dena, you saw it, and what are your thoughts on it?
Just like the entire video. Well, I noticed that, there was 2 women who really got really defensive when Kevin Samuels was asking, he asked a question like, well, what are you investing in? And she got really defensive about that. And it's not like he was asking she just, I don't know how to explain it. It's just, I didn't see the point of her getting that upset. He was just asking a simple question.
Yeah, what did she say? It's none of your business.
Yeah, and it's just it's not like he's trying to get everything. He was just like, oh, well, what else are you doing? You can't just be making money. And then, but what are you investing in yourself for the future? Because it's not going to last forever.
Yeah. Because what did he say? He was like, there's no 10-year plan.
Yeah.
There's no 10 years of somebody that started and has been doing it for 10 years. And what did they say? Well, it hasn't been going on for 10 years. And he was like, my point exactly. Mm-hmm. You don't know what anybody's longevity is in OnlyFans because OnlyFans has not existed for 10 years.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's only been around for maybe 5 years?
Oh, I didn't know it was that long for that.
I think it's been 5 years, maybe. But when you look at it, in those 5 years, how many people have skyrocketed, made as that one woman that got up and walked off? Mm-hmm. She said, every month my money goes up exponentially. But he was like, but what do you think is going to be in 5 years?
Yeah, it's not going to be the same thing 5-10 years down the road. Being, your body changes and, interest changes. And, you don't even know what OnlyFans is going to be in 10 years.
Yeah, because what did you think when Kevin Samuels, I forgot what part he said, but the girl in New York, she said men are just jealous because they can't do it as easily. Or something like that. I can't remember, but she took that shot. And the dude was like, hold on, he's not trying to hate, but that's what she had responded with. Do you think that they were trying to listen to understand him, or they were just instantly in their feelings from the moment he started his segment part of the video?
I felt like they were just in their feelings the minute he started, because they felt like he was, don't get me wrong, Kevin Samuels can come off as a butthole. But he has, he has his points, and I understand it. That's why, yes, I may not like him as an actual person, but he makes actual points. What are you gonna do? He was just asking, are you investing? What's gonna happen in 10 years? Stuff like that. It's you have to plan. You don't.
And I think the thing that what I'm noticing with these individuals that do OnlyFans, they don't always talk about the dark side of it. Mm-hmm. And what I mean the dark side, I've seen women who have jumped into the business and they were nurses, teachers, or whatever, but they lost their jobs because they had an OnlyFans. Now, OnlyFans is supposed to be blocked well enough to where it's just not easily available to everybody. But that's not true. Mm-hmm. You can still see people with OnlyFans and find it on random websites for free for what people are paying for. So them making it sound like at 23 years old, 10 years down the road, it may, damage them as far as future endeavors. Because what I've learned is that even if your Facebook page is up, companies will look up your Facebook page. Mm-hmm. And if they see anything on there they don't like, they won't hire you. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So now they look at your social media as a aspect to determine what you are as an individual. Mm-hmm. That's an important thing that I think that they're missing. That's why they're like, yeah, you're making money now, but what's going to happen when you become old to the people who have gotten tired of seeing you?
Yeah.
And Oh man, what was the other question? So we got the part of Kevin Samuels, and do you think he was right or his viewpoint on it? But like you said, you don't like him as a
I mean,
person.
I do agree with his viewpoint though, because I mean, if it was me doing it, like it would be like, yeah, I can't do that forever. Like you eventually, probably like the money that's come in, invest it in something. I don't know, stocks or whatever it is.
Yeah. And one of them was like, yeah, I can start a business. One of them, what was the one I'm investing my money in the body contouring. To me, body contouring is a new fad right now.
Yeah.
I don't see that being a forever thing because body contouring is also battling with still people getting plastic surgery. Other people just changing their diets, starting to eat more healthy, more working out, things like that. Body contouring is another aspect of it, but I don't think that's going to be a long staying thing because most people don't even know what it is right now, and even if they do find out, how long are they going to do it? You see what I'm saying? Because once they see what they look like, they be like, all right, I'm good, I'm done. You know what I'm saying? Some people lose 5 pounds and chalk up the diet. Like, they like, man, I lost 10 pounds. I don't need to do nothing else.
Yeah.
But I think when watching the video, what did you notice as far as, because you mentioned them being defensive, why do you think that instead of trying to learn, take on the energy, because there was 3 women up there, the one in the middle stayed quiet the whole time. Yeah. So why do you think she was quiet versus the other 2 that were very adamant and defensive? Why do you think that was?
I mean, I don't really know why she was. I just think she was probably like trying to take in all the different viewpoints and all the information that like Kevin was talking about or whatever, and the other ones was just like, you could, from the beginning, you could tell that they were, like, even before even Kevin even got on, like, the girl in New York or whatever, she was, like, already talking for the other girl. And I'm like, okay. Like, it just didn't make any sense. It's like, they're just, voicing their own opinions and asking them actual serious questions about the future. And they got all in their feelings.
So when you're talking about being in their feelings, do you think it was an age situation? Or do you think it was because they... Well, it's still an age thing, but do you think they felt like they knew more than the other individuals?
I'm talking about like the guy, like Kevin Samuels versus the other females.
Well, even with Kevin Samuels and the other people that were talking to him on the show, do you think that they felt like these people didn't really know what they were talking about, which is why they were defensive, or do you think it was an age situation?
Maybe kind of both. Because, Kevin Samuels is a little bit older. Well,
he's 50. He's
like
in his 50s. Yeah, he's in his
50s. 23?
24, 23. And
so, and maybe they don't really know what exactly they're going to do or trying to do. Like, of course, like that one female who didn't really say anything. Obviously, she probably, I don't know. I just feel like she's different from the other 2. The other 2 probably just don't really, I don't think they're probably investing in their future or really have realistic goals.
Well, remember the one in the middle who was quiet the whole time, she didn't have an OnlyFans. The other 2 did. They said they were investing. The one in the middle said she wasn't investing. So when she came into the conversation, she was really open-minded to see what was going on. The other OnlyFans individuals were like, no, you're not going to talk about this business that I'm using. But the problem that they misconstrue about the business, it's not their business. You know what I mean? Like, OnlyFans is pretty much the Uber, Lyft, Amazon, Airbnb of the industry for photos, videos of an explicit nature. I'm trying to watch what I say to where they don't try to block me or whatever, but it's in that realm because they removed the other properties or the other companies and instead gave direct money to the consumer versus the person that's working. And I think the thing they don't understand, which I showed you the video earlier about the twerk team, Miss Twerksome. People have been following her for over a decade. When the twerk team started, they were making money just twerking. But now these people, I've seen their comments, not because of OnlyFans, but the site that they were on. I looked at the comments, they were like, man, when is she going to get into this thing? When is she going to show this? I'm tired of seeing her twerking. You see what I mean? Like it shows that these people followed her just out of, I guess, some sense of loyalty or whatnot, but it proves their point that people are gonna get tired of you.
Yeah.
You have to constantly reinvent yourself, and the way that they got upset at the idea of what they were talking about, I don't think they have the means to reinvent themselves. I feel like when you're 23, 24, you still trying to figure out who you are. And the first thing, because what did that girl say? You're mad because you can't do the things that we do. Yeah. But that comes into an aspect of privilege. Being pretty, having a body, and hoping that men are thirsty enough to pay for it. Because, I mean, that's all it is. People say all the time, why would I pay for it when it's free online?
Yeah.
Men and women have said this. Women be like, I don't understand why men pay. Now, really, I think the only reason these men pay is just to show support. Okay, I'm rocking with you, so I'm going to show support. I'll pay these $5 a month, or I'll pay $49.99 a month, because I was looking at how much people pay, but then they also tip. So, instead of going to the strip club, you go online. Instead of going to the streets, you just watch it visually. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But women in themselves can't understand why men pay. So with yourself and watching that video, 48 minutes worth of it, watching it, what did you actually take away from it in the totality? Because you saw how it ended with the one host going in because he was just tired of their attitudes. What did you think about what he said? Now, remember, I'm leaving this in the description, so you got to go and watch it. But what did you think about what he said in regards to their attitude and character and so on and so forth?
I mean, I just feel like, he was right. You have to be careful about, like, who you, I guess you want to build a relationship or build your life with. Like, they were, they probably somebody I personally would not want to be with, like, if I was going that way. But it's just because their attitude, like, he was just like, you got to pay attention to, like, their attitude and, like, how they act and stuff like that. Just because they're on, like, social media or whatever, they might have a persona or whatever, but then, like, when you actually behind closed doors, they're like somebody you probably wouldn't want to deal with.
Yeah, because what did he say? He was like, we've only been here for an hour. And he also mentioned, business-wise, he mentioned, you don't know who's watching us right now.
Exactly. They probably lost a bunch of possible, I guess, business ventures.
Oh, yeah, they lost a lot of money.
Probably, because, like, they don't want to deal with somebody who got that type of attitude.
I mean, they got up and walked off the show. And then the quiet one had to get up, go get them, and bring them back.
And they still had an attitude when they came back.
You know what I'm saying?
And it's like, yo.
And, I for me, seeing it, I thought it was pretty interesting because I've looked through all of these aspects in OnlyFans. Like, I've been trying to research it. And it's insane to think that this is longevity. You know what I mean? Like, to me, this is internet pimping. Like, this is how I look at it. This is on some IP stuff. Because you created this business venture, but you weren't the one that created the site. She was like, yeah, I got my own I do my own business through OnlyFans. But you're not the person that created the site. And what Kevin Samuels was saying, well, yeah, you got to thank men for that. Because there was a man who made OnlyFans for you. You making it sound like you're this independent, strong person, but you didn't create it yourself.
Yeah.
You're using it and you're riding off the tails of this going on. And remember what New York said, y'all assuming that we do explicit videos and photos and stuff on OnlyFans. But then I showed you the photos.
Yeah, that's exactly what you're doing, though.
You know what I'm saying? Like
you can't.
You're being defensive because you know what you're doing. You don't like it. You know it's a hustle. You know what you're doing. Because the thing is, I've seen plenty of people lose their minds. I named other people earlier, but I mean, I can go through a list of people. And they be like, it's a scam. It's a scam. They doing the same thing they do on Instagram. They're doing the same thing that they do on Snapchat. They're doing the exact same thing. You're just paying more money for this. Now, I told you the girl I used to go to high school with, I said that she really puts in the work. Now, granted, I don't know what her OnlyFans look like. I don't know any of that. you know, but I assume that it's probably more than what you're seeing. She knows how to do the teaser trailers and stuff like that. Like, she's a real hustler. Like, she really thinks that through. And what was the other part that kind of caught me? Oh, because you was like, what are they like? What is going on? What was the reason that you were like, are you serious right now? Because what did he was asking a yes or no question.
Yes, it was a yes or no question. I can't remember what the question was.
Did I say that you shouldn't do or you can't do OnlyFans?
Yeah. And they wouldn't answer it. They got defensive.
And he said multiple times, he was like, I didn't say any of that. You can't tell me what to do. He was like, I never once said that. I'm asking you, did I say that? Just a yes or no question. And she kept fighting him.
And I'm like, oh my Lord. It's like, it's just simple answer. Yes or no. Which the answer should have been no, because he never did say that.
Now, why do you think, for a simple question as a yes or no, would an individual resist just answering that simple question?
Maybe because deep down they feel guilty of what they're doing. I don't know.
Or do you think that if they admit that this person never assumed it, they now have to address their defensiveness?
Or maybe there's truth behind of what he was asking, or even the whole entire segment itself, what Kevin Samuels was asking in the beginning. Like, are you, like, you know, thinking long term? Like, you know, this is not going to last forever.
Okay. Because that was the thing that kind of got me was, did I say this, yes or no? Kevin Samuels said it. He was like, no. Because it was like, oh, you're trying to make it sound like we're doing something bad. Kevin Samuels was like, I never said that. He was like, I only asked this question and then y'all went this way. They call it deflection. Oh, you're deflecting because you don't want to address the actual question. And I think they knew that they were going to get themselves bottled or cornered. And they wouldn't have been able to escape that portion of, hey, if I answer this question honestly, now I have to actually put the mirror up. Not saying that because they didn't say, yo, what you're doing is wrong. They said, what are you investing in? Do you have a long-term thought process? Do you know if this is going to last? You know, they were asking them questions, trying to educate them that this particular business that you're into isn't long-term for most people. The explanation I gave you earlier about Jenna Jameson in the old school video formats, you know, from the 90s to the early 2000s, she ended up starting her own business making millions. But just imagine if she had direct content like this, she would probably make a killing. But she's not doing that work anymore. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there's a shelf life for things that require your body. And I think that's what people miss. And I think they're young and they're like, I'm going to look fine forever. Because what did they bring up? 50-year-old women. You can do this into your 60s or 70s.
Yeah.
From what aspect, though? Because not a lot of old dudes is going to be looking at old women. They be like, I'm in a nursing home with them. I want to see these young ones. That's how you got sugar daddies. Because they trying to see the young ones. Now you have some young dudes who's trying to get the 70-year-old. You know, I don't even know how they comment on that. But they mention that age thinking that this is a normality, that they can really make money. Oh, I can keep doing this forever. No, you can't. Eventually, you start giving out crack prices. Like, buy my video for $1. You know what I'm saying? So your whole video that you putting all this work in is worth $1 or it's worth whatever because no one's buying because they're tired of looking at you instead of investing. But I want to thank you very much for hanging out, dropping this video with me because I know them dogs was losing their minds. We had to cut this video multiple times to try to get rid of the excess noise. But if you like this video, comment on it, like it, share it, and make sure you subscribe because I'm going to keep doing these videos and interviews, things like that. Show love to your boy. All right, everybody? Peace.